Hey guys, today I want to talk about Diablo as well as some really powerful combos that he has and a few combos that are a little bit more of just new player bait. So the first combo I want to share as well as the second combo, well the first combo I want to share is purely new player bait, which is essentially his Q into a flip. And I'll explain why it's kind of new player bait. So what this combo does is it pushes the enemy away and then you flip him over and then you can body block as your team follows up. The problem is that your push has a long range, so if you don't actually push and stun him into a wall, you don't really do that much damage, and you put so much distance away from your team that oftentimes this never gets followed up. So I don't usually recommend this one. Now, when you get higher level, level 16, you get the ability to reset the cooldown of your charge when you flip, which means that this combo actually becomes pretty useful because you can flip them back into your team. So you do want to be using it at that point. But it's a little bit, I don't know. I don't really like it. Whenever I see noobs that push the enemy away and then flip them and get all mad when there's no follow-up because you're just so far away from your team, it's not really worth it. Of course, with Diablo, you're always going to be looking to try to slam them against walls. But there's a few of these combos that make it to where you can still be beneficial to your team without slamming against walls or with slamming against walls. So I'm going to summon some minions and I'm going to show you a little trick that allows you to use this combo without making as much distance from your team. So let me summon some minions and I'm going to show you what I mean. You're allowed to Q a minion, which allows you to get a little bit more aggressive. And let me see if I can get Falstad to run away from me for a second. Okay, so if I want to get to Falstad right now, I can Q a minion and I can get a lot closer to him without actually pushing him away from my team. So if he gets closer, I'll show you again what it looks like. I can Q a minion and get closer to Falstad. And you can do whatever you want. So the greatest way of using this is essentially, if they have a ranged hero, they're usually going to be back here. You Q a ranged minion and you flip over, right? And you can use this in either direction. But this allows you to not push your team or push the enemy away from your team. You essentially are just pushing, and then you can do... And if they're playing really aggressive, like if they're in the front line, you can actually push a back minion just to get behind them, and then they have to go around you. And while they're going around you, you can just flip them right back over to your team again. So utilize the minions around you to actually get around the enemy without necessarily pushing the enemy. Because if you push the enemy too much, it's not going to end up working. So those are the ones that I want to share with him. I'm going to turn off minions and I'm going to change the enemy hero really quick to someone who's tankier. And I want to show you the other combos that you can do with Diablo, some that can do a lot of damage. So the first thing that I want to share is his ultimate ability is called Apocalypse, right? He has another one, but the combos that people know are called Apocalypse combos. Apocalypse is an ability that you activate it, and after a short delay, it's going to stun people in these zones. But the problem is that every time you use Apocalypse in ranks like Platinum or higher, everyone walks out of the Apocalypse and the whole ultimate was wasted. For a 100-second ultimate, it's not worth wasting it. So, what I want to share with you today is every time you use Apocalypse, you need to make sure that it hits one person. And to do that, there are a few combos that will guarantee that you'll always hit one person with Apocalypse. But there's actually a lot of variations of this combo, but I'm going to show you the one that always works and the one that you can get creative and turn it into a variety of combos. I'm going to show it first, then explain it. So that's the combo. You use Apocalypse first, then you follow up with Q, which pushes them out of the Apocalypse, then you follow up with Overpower, which brings them back into the Apocalypse. As long as you use Apocalypse while you're in range of your Q, you will always stun them in your Apocalypse, guaranteed. Which is a simple combo that guarantees one stun, stunning them for 1.75 seconds. Now, if you can get them close to a wall, you can also combo this with a wall. For example, you could do this. And then if you got your reset talent, you could also follow up with another stun, doing half of their health with your stuns. It's a very, very strong combo. So every time you use Apocalypse, follow it up with a stun. There are variations of this after level 16, but this is the easiest to remember and the easiest to pull off, and it pretty much always works. The next ability is called Hellgate, and Hellgate does the same thing, but it allows you to teleport to an area, and then it does, after 1.5 seconds, or 1.75 seconds, it does a stun for 1.75 seconds. So, how can you abuse a teleport that turns into a stun? Well, there's actually several methods of doing this, but I have three methods, well, no, sorry, I have two methods and a variety of uses for these two methods. The first method is you jump in between the person and the wall, and then you flip them into the stun, which will stun them, and then you can cue them against the wall when your stun's over, doing another stun. And this method is best when you're chasing someone and they're running away, because you won't have the range to be able to teleport and slam them against a wall. However, you'll have the range to teleport in between them and a wall and stun them. So I'm going to show this example really quick. It goes like this. You stun them, you follow up with another stun, you auto attack. Against a tank, it does about 25 to 35% of their health, and against an assassin, it's about 50% of their health. It's a very simple combo, and it works at all ranks. If you find that your enemies are falling for a lot of your tricks and slamming into walls, there's another trick that you can do where I like to get near a wall, which puts them into a false sense of security, and they might get near a wall too. Because if you go up, they'll go up as well. But the teleport allows you to do this very quickly. So what I do is I teleport. If the enemy's at the wall, you teleport to where you can slam them against a wall, which the slam in the wall will stun them, and then they'll get stunned again by the Hellgate, and then you can also flip and stun them again if you want to. So I'm going to show this to kind of show how it works. And you can do a good chunk. I mean, so much damage. So again, how this combo works is you teleport outside of the area, you slam them against a wall, you flip them back into the stun, and you position yourself so you can stun them back into the wall again. And the way this works is it only works after level 16, but of course you only get Hellgate at level 20, so this is a combo you can always do, and this combo works really well in fights as well, because if you can plan to get one hit off against a wall, you can Hellgate and you can get 2 hits against the wall. So I'm going to refresh this, make sure that Arthas is full health, just to show you how much damage this can actually do. So when Arthas appears, I'll show you this works best when you're in a fight. So if you're sitting here and you're getting ready to fight, and you just go, you get him into a position where you know you can slam him against a wall, Hellgate, slam against the wall, flip him back into this, get around him. If this wasn't Arthas, it would be a little bit easier to show. And there you go. Half of his health is gone. Regular ability cooldowns. It's a very easy combo to do. It works best in a fight by just positioning your teleport to where the target is in between your teleport and a wall, and then you simply teleport, stun them against the wall, flip them into your stun, walk around them, cue them back into the wall. It's 50% of a tank's health, and it's more like 80% of an assassin's health. So, now that you guys know, every time you apocalypse, you should always be following up. They should always have one person get stunned. Every time that once you get level 20 with Hellgate, you should pretty much win almost every fight, as long as the enemies aren't Grandmaster, by following these tips. Yeah, if there's anything else you want to add, throw it in the comments below. If you have any other questions about Diablo or any of the combos, again, throw it in the questions below. Thank you so much for watching.